Hi, everybody. I'm Ceil, and great to be with you. Great to be connected. And notice I said the word connected. Connection is going to be a main piece of what we're going to talk about today. You know, we've been talking about your personal power, and there's 5 components that make up your personal power. We've talked about love. We talked about truth, being honest. And then the next piece or the next pillar of your personal power all has to do with relationships. And relationships, one of the key components of a relationship is being able to connect. So let me read to you. This is Alan Walter's definition of connection. Connection is the ability to be or not be part of it, or have it be part of you, to touch lightly or completely own it. So that's connection. Now, to keep this even simpler, let me just share with you Alan's definition of relationship. Boy, that word can be so heavy. and if you find that word heavy, just know you've probably got some of your attention trapped in some relationships, some that didn't go well. If you feel quite light about it, that tells me that your relationships are pretty positive and you're getting what you want from them. So relationship, the condition or fact of being related, connection, or association. See, there's that word connection. Number 2, connection by blood or marriage, kinship. Number 3, a particular kind of connection existing between people related to or having dealings with each other. And then the example is, has a close relationship with his siblings. So if you see, it keeps circling around that word connection. And, you know, connection goes back to the first 2 pillars of your personal power, which is love. How much closeness, how much friendliness do you have toward that thing or that person? And we're not just talking about marriage or your significant other. I mean, you need to have that. That needs to exist in a business relationship. Otherwise, there's really the level of exchange that occurs when you're connected would be kind of flat or maybe not even interesting, right? So when you're connected to someone, you know, that exchange, being able to see other people's points of view, hear their insights, see their thoughts and feelings about life, about subjects, about what they're doing, what you're doing, you know, without putting your opinions on it and without judgment. I mean, now that is a recipe for a great, great connection. So when I was looking at, you know, how can I relate this to you all in the success that I've had in the relationship area, I go back to the relationship that I had with Alan. You know, I started to work with him September the 4th, 2004, and until he passed in 2009. And, you know, I left my 19-year career in the insurance industry. I didn't renew my insurance license. So, and you have to take a test to get that. I know I barely passed the test. I think I passed by 2 points, 2 or 4 points. So I didn't renew it. So, you know, it was kind of make or break it or make or break me when I came to work with him. And so anyway, I'd been here about 9 months, probably 11 months. And I went into his house one day and he told me, he said, "You're not happy." And you have no idea what that did to me on the inside, because I thought, oh my God, I've let my insurance license, you know, expire and I can't go back to corporate. But he said, "You're not happy." And he said, "You know, you just don't have positive indicators in the position that you're currently in." So I just kind of stood there and waited to see what on earth is he going to say now. Because he was my boss. I was his executive communicator. So, and I worked some with him, and then I worked over here at the ranch. But he said, I think you should be in the marketing area. And I mean, immediately it was like, oh my gosh, that was such a right indication. And so I got over into the marketing area immediately, and oh my Lord, my statistics and my results and everything that I was producing, I just started to soar. I started to flourish. It was like a plant that had been, inside in a dark room that hadn't had much water and that had had very little sunlight, and that was like withering away and all those things. And so it was like being taken out and put in the sunshine and then given some water, and then everything starts to bloom. So I say that because we had a lot of closeness. There was a lot of truth in relationship, like always truth. He was a master in the field of handling people and helping people develop to their fullest potential. So he could tell when something was not right off the bat. He could feel it. I mean, within 24 hours, if one little thing was off, in our relationship, he would spot it, and then we would discuss it. So just a lot of honesty, no secrets, which could be painful sometimes. But if you're a master in really handling people and have a great ability to communicate and positively process the other, it's very easy to help the other person dissipate that and be honest. So I share that with you because the connection is what's so important here in order to have a great relationship. And I think about parents as well. I didn't know this when I was raising my daughter, but I know it now. So I'm always using it on my grandchildren, and I have a really close relationship with them. But one thing as a parent you want to do is always make sure that you know what your child wants, what your teenager wants, what your kid wants, and what really interests them in life, not what you'd like them to be interested in. That sounds so simple, and sometimes it's not, because obviously as parents, we want the best for our kids, but you always want to help them develop in the area that their attention is on, because they're going to soar. It's just kind of like Alan, spotted right away. I mean, it was new in the position. I love the piece I was doing with him being his executive communicator, but then over here at the ranch, the position that I was in, I was not winning at it. But so as a parent, you want to know what your kids want. The more choices you can give them, the better they will do at picking what's right for them versus enforcing, demanding that they like this, demanding that they do that, and then supporting them to help them get what they want. That creates a lot of harmony in your home. That creates harmonious relationships and a great connection. So here's a little process that you can all run. And if you do this, I wish you would post in the chat what you think about it, what happened. So the first command is basically you want to be present. And so you can do this simply by just focusing your attention in this moment at this time. You can even set a timer on your phone for like a minute, maybe 2 minutes. If you need something to gaze at, you could use a candle, or you can just sit there on a couch and just be present, okay? Without talking, and just be there in the moment. And the second thing is, what person or object would you be willing to let connect to you? What person or object would you be willing to let connect to you? And you can write the answers down to this. You don't have to. The third thing is, let it connect to you. And then the fourth thing is, what happened? What happened when you let that person or object connect to you? You know, if I chose an object, I would probably use the computer. Why? Because I'm not computer savvy. You know, I would let an Apple computer connect to me, but I wouldn't let a you know, HP computer or any other kind connect to me. Why? Well, because I've had bad experiences with those types of computers, and one crashed on me, and I'm so not computer savvy, but I can operate Apple without it being a drama or you know, a huge drama scene, and make it work and win with it every day. So I would let a Apple computer connect to me, but anyway, that's an example as far as an object. So with that, have fun with this. Notice your connections with people. Notice if you need to increase your friendliness or your presence and being there, focus with them, and keep a record of how well your business does, how well your most meaningful relationships improve, and then just how well